Greetings! My name's Dwayne, and these are my holiday gnomes made out of a glitter foam. They're glitter foam sheets, and I'm going to show you actually on this video how to make the beard. I'm going to take and do a couple videos since there's certain things that are ornate into these that will take a little bit of time and a little bit of practice with that. So I wanted you to be able to just have a video where we can study just how to do the beard to start out with, and then we'll get into the bodies and the hats and how all that is made. So I'm going to start out by setting these little guys aside here. We're going to get them out of the picture here for a second. As I said, we're going to concentrate on making the beard on this video. So Hobby Lobby, this is where I get my actual craft glitter sheets from. It's a foam sheet. It's like 1.5 millimeter thick. It's very thin sheet here. What we're going to do is turn it over. And simply to make my beard, I need 4 inches. And it's going to be a 4-inch square. So all I need to do is draw out my 4-inch square here. And you can use anything to mark your material with. But I wanted a larger beard. What I originally started out doing was I was trying to make a keychain. It was a smaller keychain and probably about half the size here. And as I started making it and just playing with the foam, it looked more like a beard. So I went from there and just kept working with it and decided the larger size worked well with these. And what these are, let me take a moment here just as I get this prepped here to show you what I'm using with the gnomes, because I'll get a lot of questions on that. As far as the base here, like I said, we're going to talk about the beard right now. But the gnomes themselves, I've done these on, this one's actually done on a little smaller foam, the cones. This is our 4-inch gnome that we've been working with. This is like with the woodland wizards that I've been doing with the ornaments, with the smaller ones. It's a 4-inch cone. This is a 3.9. They both have a 2-inch base on the bottom of them. I was looking to do some other stuff. The forest flowers are done on a smaller one than my 4-inch that I've done with the color there. So that's why I have different sizes, but this one can be done on the 4-inch cone. If you've got the 4-inch cone, it's great. You can use that right now. This is the holiday season. I just picked up a ton of these over at Hobby Lobby. They got them on sale there in the Christmas section. They were almost nothing compared, with their half off there. So if you've gotten the 4-inch cones for the other ones, the woodland wizards or the flowering fairies, you can use the 4-inch cones for these. So I try to make it accessible so we're not trying to get all sorts of different things going on, but that works fine to use the 4-inch cones on those. So I'm cutting out what happens to be a 4-inch square. And it's just easy to cut out if you've never worked with the craft foam. We'll put our big piece aside here. Now I'm actually going to cut this in half. Your 4-inch square is going to give you actually 2 beards. Which is probably good to have one to practice on to begin with. Even trying to put this together, I cut things wrong a little bit. So reworking another one here. So now that I have a triangle shape, I'm going to fold it. And what I want, and this is where you got to make sure you're cutting in the right direction too, I want the folded part to be facing to my left. Facing to my left, the 90-degree angle, the straight angle down at the bottom, and the more pointed up at the top. That's the way I remember that I'm going to cut it and do it in the right direction. That's the most important part of doing the beard part here, because I'm going to be cutting up, and what I'm doing is I'm going in about a 1/4 inch and cutting up. And for the first couple cuts, I want to make sure I'm about a 1/2 inch coming up to that fold there. And I'll tell you why in just a moment here, or show you why once I've done that. But like I said, you're going about a 1/4 inch in here. And what I want to do is 5 cuts. 1, 2, 3. Let's get number 4. And number 5. Now the first one I actually did 6 cuts, and it just seemed like it was a little bit too much, but not terribly too much. So you could do both, but the 6th cut actually ends up more hiding underneath the hat. So I decided, well, didn't have to do 6 cuts. And once again, you got the fold going over here to the left, and you're cutting up from the bottom towards that. I made a mistake the other night, and I just cut straight across here. That won't work. So make sure that you're cutting up. And when you open it up, it gives you kind of a bird look here. You're going this way with it, with everything here. All right. The first ones on the outside, you're going to take and just fold them together, pinch them together. And that's why I'm cutting up only the 1/2 inch. When I'm doing the cut there, I'm leaving that little bit of space right in there, because I don't want the cut line to come into where I'm curling. This is going to be the bottom of the beard, this point down here. This is one of the easy parts here, is just curling that up like that. And then I want my ends to meet down here. So I'm just going to pinch that together, and I'm going to glue just a light line of glue in here. Again, this is some of the difficult part here too, because you just want a light line. You don't want things oozing out. Just a nice line of glue, and be prepared for the strings on this. I can tell you that right now. It's very little lines that I'm trying to do, so it's giving me the sort of the glue strings all the time that I have to play with a little bit. So don't get frustrated if you get those glue strings, and I haven't found a glue gun yet, or had anybody tell me exactly that they can get a glue gun that doesn't do the glue strings. Now I am just going to take the back of that and put some glue on there. Now you'll see that the top part sticks over, so don't put the glue up top here. Just bring some glue along there. Again, you don't want to keep sticking to things, and sticking that glue out there. We'll get that together. So that's going to be the bottom part of the beard there. Now the sides, you're going to do the same thing for each piece. You got 4 pieces here on each side. And what I do, and this is just learning how to fold, and this is where you have to have some patience and some practice a little bit. I'm going to take the outside one first. I'm going to pull it down, sort of away from me, and curl it around. Curl it right into there. And then, let me show you again. Like I said, this is where you're going to need some practice. I'm going to pull it down away from me a little bit, curl it up and around. And now what I want is the glitter side So I have the glitter on the inside facing towards my first one that I did there. Now I'm going to glue this again, just a light little bit. And I'm probably going to say that several times over and over again. Just a little bit of glue, little dab. I don't want to get all these stringies. I don't want to get the top part all glued up. You don't want it to ooze out. And I'm going to put it in there. So I got my first little loop there. Next one, I'm going to do the same thing. Take it, go down away, turn it towards me, and then put it right back in there. Now the thing here is you want to line up these top pieces of it there as you curl it there. That'll get you the curl there. If you go higher, you're not going to get your little curl there. If you go lower, you're going to get this wider curl. And what I want is the beard to have more of a wide curl down here at the bottom and go inward. So I want to have that, the top of that come to there. That's the trick, is to line up as you go along there. If it doesn't, it looks a little bit different, but that's fine. That's just what I found that I like to have my beard come out looking, you know, sort of more of a uniform and a nice look to it. Bringing in those curls there. And just down and away, flip it around and onto there. And we're going to go through them all. Just a lot of times what I like to do is have one already half made or something, but this way it's practice to do it. Also, so you can see sort of angling a little bit different when I get to the second side there, just to make it easier on myself here. Go down, curl around, and it gets smaller. You don't have as much room there working with that. Get you there. Put just a little dab on there. We're going to glue you down. So there I have my curls on one side. As I said, then we got the front part of the beard coming down here. And here's where I found, you notice when I did this, I had this up here, curling them around. Here's where I found it easier for myself to have it facing me, to turn the bottom part facing me, to bring it down and around and put it, again, I want to line up. I don't want this going all the way up here. I want to line it up with what I have going across there and put my loop on there. Now again, this is how I found that making it by turning it and having this point come towards me is easier to make that than trying to do some other position. Now it may not be as easy for you. You may find that you like doing it in some other position. Like I said, once you get used to making the folds, that's the big thing, is making that turn there and putting it on. I try to keep it as simple as what I find works well for me. Other people will probably send me messages saying that they like to do it some other, just a little bit different, or they found a way to do the fold. This is something that I have not done for a long, long time. So there are other people, I'm sure, that have worked with the foam and have done the crafting with it. But this is how I found that I can work with it. So just trying to give you some tips there. And we're going to fold it over, line up my tops there. Only 2 more to go. Oh, look at that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go down. Go around. I guess it wouldn't be terrible if I did that, if I just put the glue on to begin with, but I want to make sure I get that curve. Now, you could probably do that. You could probably just put the glue right on at the beginning, as long as you got the turning it around part. Let's bring that together. Again, down and around. And that's going to go right in there. And sometimes it's going to feel like you need a third hand. Sometimes it's not always easy to try to hold things and put it in there. Let's get you on there. All right. So there we have our basic to start out with. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the very tip up here where it goes along on the back here. So we cut that off, remove that. Not going to need that piece. And then at the very top, I'm going to fold each side over. I'm going to fold this side over. So I'm going to add just a little bit of glue. Now this is just barely going to touch down here, so I'm just going to put just a tad little touch of glue right at the very top there and onto this first piece that comes across there. I'm going to glue that around. Hold that for a moment. Get that glued on there. And then I'm going to take the other side. Now you can cut this off if you want, cut this little part hanging over, or you could just take this and wrap it around there. Again, it doesn't matter. I don't need that little extra piece there. Either way, you're going to be covering it up. Just want to show you, just if it makes it easier for you to do that, we're just going to wrap that around up there. And here I'll put my glue on this side because I want the point to stay down. And we wrap it around there. So just like that, that's going to give me my beard. I just sort of moved around just a little bit there. But that gives me my beard for my little guys there to put that together. And as I said, on this video, I wanted to just show you how I did the beard and just give you an idea how to put that together. We're going to work on other videos that actually show you the body, the different pieces, but I wanted to give you, little pieces there just to show you how to start out, how to do the beard, because that's going to take a little practice. And I didn't want to try to do just one video showing the whole make of the gnome. That way you can go back and just look at this in a smaller version, time-wise, rather than going through a 2-hour video of how to put it together. We'll do that as we get going, so we'll get bits and pieces. So this will be part 1, the first part of the first part of the making of the videos here, and then we'll start out the next one showing you how to put the body together. Thank you for watching, and I hope that helps and gets you started there. Thank you.